Okay, I think we may be live if everything's operational. If anyone can hear me, let me know in the comments. We got a few people already in the chat from earlier on. Cheekster's here. I gotta say thank you, Cheekster, for all your support on the channel. Always see your name popping up there, so I do want to say thanks. Robin is here. I was just commenting to Robin, I think, on the latest video. Thanks for joining us today. Kev Burmaster's here. Hope you're doing, Kev. Hope you had a good weekend. This weekend here in the UK has just been a total washout. Mr. Burmaster, it's been a washout all the way through. It is, yeah, no gardening. No gardening has been completed at all. Richard Rendell's here. Immortal Rob too. How you doing, Rob? Hopefully I'll see you on a starting line very soon. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to do a recce on the Martok 10k route, I'm very up for that, young man. So give me a shout and we'll make it happen. Joseph Grinstaff is here. He's enjoying the thumbnail picture of Beast. I couldn't quite stop myself putting that one up. I thought it was a good one. We have Michael is here. He says, "Good Abend, everybody." Thanks for joining us, Michael. Rob Weatherall's in the house. We also have Sam as well. Saragon is here. He says he can hear me. Good. I'm glad you can hear me. Otherwise, I feel rather foolish right now. Glendog 74 is in the house as well. Andrew Ross gives me the thumbs up. Mark T says, "Hello, fellow runners." Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us today. We've got Victor Abel. He says, "Mr. Bird, hello. Greetings from Argentina." Amazing. Someone watching in Argentina. I can't quite believe it. I'm in a tiny room full of shoes here. Victor, there's a lot of shoes in this room now. A hell of a lot of shoes. Some shoes are slightly dirtier than others and more used than others, but there's a lot here. Thanks for joining us. Mortal Rob says he's definitely up for that. Excellent stuff. We'll make it happen very soon, Rob. We need to do a good recce on that one, so we're ready and primed for some personal bests on that 10k. It's a good course to do it on as well. Wyatt's here. He says, "Good to have a live stream today. Always look forward to them." Yeah, they're back. I'm going to do a couple a week probably now. I've got some time now. Things are a little bit easier in my world right now. Things are easing up a little bit. Gary Saylor's in the house. How you doing, Gary? He's always in the comments on the videos. Nice to see you here. We've got Run Tommy as well, checking in from North Korea. Crikey. Awesome stuff. Thomas Ferguson's here. He says, "Hello, everybody." Hi, Thomas. And we got Greg Previtt here as well. Robin says, "Hey Ed, I've seen the picture of the Adidas Pro 2. Yes, I did see that that Kenyan runner wearing the Adidas 2. They don't look quite as big. Now you see them on someone's foot. It's really weird. The Boston 10 though does look like a Hulk, doesn't it? It's a massive shoe. It does make me wonder, you know, how heavy is it going to be? Just how large is it? Am I going to need to, you know, knock some walls out to even get through my house while wearing those? Probably. The chat's going nuts now, so let's see if we can just make sure we say hello to everybody. Lee Sumner's here. He says, "Long time no see." I'm back, Lee. I'm back. I've not really been anywhere. I've just been really busy, you know, with family stuff, life stuff, you know. Let's try and keep up. Come on, Ed. Come on, let's keep up. We have Runs Like a Donkey is here from the remote Scottish Highlands. That is one place I really want to do some running. I'm really keen to head up there and do some running. Kim's here from Denmark. How you doing? Steve is here. Ed Foozy double bill was just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, I guess I think Mike's on directly after me, isn't he? With his live streams. I'll check in and in the chat as well with Mike's live stream as well. I haven't been able to watch an awful lot of YouTube myself, and really my TV. Oh, Beast is here. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Hello, Beast. Come on, come here. Oh my word! The Beast is here in full effect. Whoa, I'm going to put the Beast down. I don't think it wants to be up here. go on, beast. Go and find somewhere warm over there and sit on some shoes or something. There's enough pairs there. Yeah, Kafuzi's kind of like my chief go-to, and this I need to catch up with that Nova Blast 2 video, see what Mike thought of that one. I'm glad that you're on the road to recovery. He says he's on a cocktail of drugs post-surgery. I felt a little bit like that when I had that COVID jab a couple of weeks back. I was a mess, but I feel good now, feel better now. NV's here from sunny Manchester. I hope it's better than it is here, NV. It's been shocking the last couple of days here. Looping is here. He says, hi Ed, I'm at FC from Thailand. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you here. Stevie76 in the house. Good to see you, Stevie76. That's just made me feel good, just seeing the Stevie76 and the devil horns there. Seven Steels is here from Brooklyn, New York. Oski 501 is here in Las Vegas. Awesome. Loads of people here. It's all happening. Stephen C 1984 says, hi Ed, Sheffield United are winning. It's a miracle. Need to check that later. Well, yeah. Go and check that out and see what's going on. We'll see you later on. John Eaton's here. He says, hi Ed and guys. Glad you enjoyed the long run. Hard work, 5 mile effort to test my speed endurance. It was a weird run today, John. I set out to just do something nice and easy because I'd done some intervals earlier in the week, and then I mixed in some, well, I would suggest it's close to my 10k pace effort miles in on yesterday's run using the Endorphin Pro, and they felt really nice actually. It felt really smooth, and I thought, right, today we'll just take it nice and easy. But no, it didn't happen like that. I thought, I really fancy running something really cushioned, you know, next percent would be nice. And as soon as I started running, I thought this isn't going to be an easy effort at all. And it just felt really nice. It wasn't like I was pushing myself too hard, but I think it was a combination of good rest this week, feeling closer to 100% again, and I always like running in the rain. The temperature was just right today, so yeah, it was a harder long run. It wasn't a long slow run by any stretch, and I feel really good actually. I don't feel sort of strained or exhausted at all. I actually feel on the money today. Mod with Cod. He says, evening Ed, hello everybody from Lincolnshire. We've got Mile Ivanov from Macedonia. Awesome, thanks for joining us. Victor says, dirt on the shoes means wearing and great quality reviews. Yeah, dirt is good. They're certainly looking a bit dirty now that it's next percent too. Scouser Tommy says, wonderful, Copenhagen. Saragon says, any advice? Yeah, let's get to some questions, guys. If you've got some questions, obviously you can do a super chat, help the channel out a little bit. You can help the channel out even more as well. Give this a thumbs up like as well. It helps to get us out to a few more people. I don't exactly know how the algorithm fully works, but yeah, we need to feed the algorithm with likes, and that seems to produce some good results, guys. So yeah, do give this a like if you're in the chat. It really does help us out a lot. Let's get to some questions. Let's warm my hands up. I don't know why I need to warm my hands up, but it just feels like I need to do that. And I also have a sip of this elixir as well. Ah, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. We have Saragon says, any advice on neutral 3-shoe rotation? Yeah, I like these type of questions. And have I run around Nine Springs Country Park? I have run around those. Easy shoe at the moment for me, my favourite that I'm reaching for, and I'm soon going to be at 100 miles in that one, is a Pegasus 38. Now, I didn't think I was going to like that shoe anywhere near as much as I do. It just works. Everything works for me with it. It seems a little different, I don't know, than the last version. I know that supposedly the midsole is the same, the outsole's the same, but to me it just has a little bit more versatility about it. The the upper is it's a wonderful fit. It just works just right. Those kind of lace loops on either side provide just enough lockdown. So that would be my pick really for like an easy shoe. You could do some more speedy stuff in it as well. If I was going to go race day at the moment, Next Percent 2, if you can pick it up, is a wonderful shoe. And maybe if you your speed work, which can double as maybe almost like a recovery shoe, I suppose, is the Endorphin Speed. That would be my triple bill of shoes. Yeah, Nine Springs Country Park will be an absolute mud bath at the moment, I should imagine. So I need to get some more miles in on my trail shoes. So I'll probably do a bit of a versus this week between the G270 from Innovate and that crazy super shoe they released as well. I'm going to give those maybe I'll take them both out and switch them halfway or something like that, something weird, just to create something a little different for you. Have I seen the Oski says, have I seen the Brooks Aurora BL? Yeah, I did include that one. I think it was in a yay or nay the other day. I did notice on Facebook someone got really upset about that. But I said, how could I possibly tell whether the shoe was any good or not unless I'd worn it? It's like, it's kind of the ultimate reason for doing the yay or nay, to say whether I'm going to test the shoes out or not. There's some shoe tubers who'll do a much better job of testing certain things than me. I only pick trail shoes every so often. I don't run an awful lot of trail miles, so those guys will do a better job there. And there's certain shoes with stability elements and things like that are just not really gonna work for me. So yeah, I might I don't think I'm going to test that one out, but it certainly looked an interesting shoe. If I test out any Goretex trainers, N4TX says, is Goretex a gimmick? I don't know, I hear a lot of people saying that the Goretex stuff's, it's just not really breathable, so it's really hot, and if you're in a very sort of humid climate, it might not work so well. I can imagine it working quite well here, where we get some quite cold temperatures and a lot of moisture, a lot of rain here in the UK, maybe up in Scotland, things like that. So I think it could work okay. I haven't tested one out myself, but it's something I might look to do perhaps as we get towards winter, as it gets cooler later this year. Maybe I'll pick one up. I always like to pick up a Shield shoe and maybe something else to try them out and see what sort of water resistant properties they have. Paul Chapman says, evening all. We got Sporty Dave K1. Says, hi Ed, live from the turbo trainer in the garage. Awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it when people are doing some actual running exercise and stuff, where they're actually watching the live stream. That truly is awesome. James Smith says, a new personal best. Oh, brilliant. I'm ringing the bell for you. You can hear it. It's a bit like in the Polar Express, at the end. You can hear the bell. And he kept the beard on as well. 1 hour 24:24 is fantastic. Well done, James. Brilliant stuff. Miles just finished a 15k run. New running following you. Awesome. Thanks for following. Thanks for tuning in. Mr. Jameson's here. Yo, Ed and Beast. Hello, Mr. Jameson. Magdy says hello. He's in Derby. Awesome stuff. Is the baseball ground still a thing? Is that still a thing in Derby? I think maybe they moved, didn't they? I always used to like that. It was called the baseball ground. Yeah, Beast is here, just chilling out on the floor down there, sat on the original red Vaporfly 4% flying it at the moment, because there was a avalanche of shoes the other day. She's knocked a load of stuff over and I need to tidy up. It's a disgrace in here, quite frankly, guys. It needs tidying up. I will get round to it at some stage when I'm not knocking out new videos and coming up with crazy new ideas. Who we got here? We got Mark Weeson. He says, evening Ed, have you purchased the second pair yet? You want to? No, I haven't yet, Mark. I might hang fire. Do you know, I've got a real problem with that, the retail versions of the Next Percent, where they've got that double duck bill sort of colouring on the front. It just, I can't deal with it. And I noticed that there's an Olympic one, isn't there, where it's red and then it's pink on the top. I can deal with that because they're two different colours. It doesn't look so sort of like a platypus kind of vibe. I can deal with that one, so I might wait till that one. Pasquale is in Italy. Thanks for tuning in. Amazing. Am I still running the Tempos? Isaiah's. I haven't worn them for a little while. I want to dig them back out again. I keep seeing a chap locally who's got like some green ones. I don't know whether they're like a custom one that he's made or something on the Nike By You thing, but I keep seeing him. He's really tall. I don't know whether it's because he's wearing the Tempos or not, but yeah, he's really tall chap, and yeah, he's been rocking those, and yeah, I keep saying hi to him. We're always going in the opposite direction though. Ben Dyke, he says, hello from South Petherton, not far away at all. Let's see if we can shift through some comments here. Sarah Gon's in Birmingham, and Aaron's in the sunny Isle of Man. Oh, I'm glad it's sunny for you. Yeah, Rob says, yeah, he's okay after his jab. I'm glad you got that one, Rob. I was knocked out, absolutely knocked out. I will knock out a new running shoe deals video probably this week actually, Ben, so do keep an eye out for that one. I know that they're very popular, people really like those videos. If I spot some bargains, I'll get a new video ready for you. Mrs. EDDBUD actually helps out a lot with those. She actually came up with that original idea, and she often tells me that. She often reminds me that it was her idea, and that's like, it's true. It's true. Bravo is in Durham. Rodney says, have I run in the RC Elite 2 yet? No, that one is, I know it's been sent to a few shoe tubers to review. I haven't got my mitts on that yet. There's a lot of foam there. I tell you, there's a lot of foam. I mean, if I was a devout marathon dude, you know, I like my half marathon. That's my favourite distance, really. But then you see with marathons, you know, most normal mortals can probably only look to run, you know, a few of those a year. With the half, you recover quicker. So, yeah, I think that's really an out-and-out marathon shoe. Run Tommy says, a 5k coming up, Endorphin Pro too heavy? I would suggest no. Endorphin Pro's relatively light. Is it 256 in my size? I think it's, yeah, it's pretty light. It's a pretty light shoe. I think you could run a 5k in that, no worries. Joseph says, how is the next Plant 2 different than the first edition? It's really just its upper. That's the only differences you got there, Joseph. I struggled a little bit with Vaporweave. I really didn't find it all that sort of water resistant, really. It just seemed to let all the water in and then it didn't really go anywhere. But with the new one, it seems to vent out pretty quick. And it's just more containing, really. It just feels like it got a bit more toe box room. Not everybody might like that. Some people might like a more sort of tight, kind of constraining sort of fit, I suppose. But yeah, for me, it's very much that I enjoy that room in the toe box. Tayfun is here from Turkey. What's your comments on the New Balance Rebel V2? It's just a smashing shoe. Absolutely brilliant for the price. You can run easy stuff in it. I think. I don't think everybody's got the same opinion as me, but it certainly feels good. I ran a 3 mile easy commute back from work the other day with a massive rucksack with the Rebel 2s, and they were great. They worked really well. You could run 5, 10, half marathon in those, no problem. I think I did run a half distance a few weeks back in those, and yeah, it did really well. Robin is here from Chile, Cape Town. Yeah, it's cold out there now. I may have to put the heating on, get the blankets out. Nice film later on. Maybe something with Harrison Ford. Something, you know, reliable back from the sort of mid-90s. Fugitive or something like that. That'd be good. That'd be good. Master Eon says, evening Ed, funky shirt there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Having inconsistent heart rate readings with the Polar OH1 wearing on my forearm. I tend to wear mine round about here. I haven't had too many problems with that. I do wear it on the same... actually, have I paired it with both watches? I think I've paired it with both watches. And yeah, I don't get too many problems with it. If it's very humid and you know, I'm absolutely drenched or something, then yeah. But I think anything's gonna act up a little bit when it gets that wet. But yeah, it's pretty good. Mark T, do you think Puma are becoming a real player in the running market? I think they are. I know a few people have had a few weird issues with the Deviate Nitro rubbing on their ankle a little bit, but the Liberate is that's going to be one of the best shoes of the year. You heard it first. I think that's going to be one of the best for the money. I mean, it's hard to beat. I don't know too many people that have reviewed it, picked it up, that haven't liked that shoe. So yeah, I think they're going to be there. If you imagine Puma were as well one time the only real competition for the three-stripe brand Adidas as well. Well, there's a long-running history with those guys. It was obviously two family members that were originally making shoes. The Second World War occurred and lots of things happened, some family feuds, and they sort of went their separate ways. But yeah, it's a great range of shoes they've got out right now. Even that Ultra Ride, I need to get back out, and now that's great. That's a great shoe. I mean, it looks terrible, but it's a great shoe. Pasquale says he's going to run his first half marathon, and he's during the Float Road 3. Doesn't like the Hokas. Any advice for a good shoe for the half? Yeah, the Rebel 2. You could look perhaps to pick up, if you can find them, the Run Fast 2 if you like the Reebok brand. They're super cheap. I wasn't really keen on the Run Fast 3. The uppers, it's trash actually. The upper on that one, it really doesn't work well at all. There's not enough of it there in the tongue. I just don't know how that got through the design process. It really doesn't work that well. And bad laces. Yeah, go for the Run Fast 2 or the Rebel V2. You could try the Liberate Nitro as well from Puma. That's a great shoe. They could all work up to a half marathon, no problem. Taj says, he says, hi Ed, I've now adopted low mileage strategy to keep the half marathon times under 75 minutes. Running next race will be RC Elite. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad you got to check those out already. They do look really, really cool, but yeah, may not be able to pick those up for a little while yet. I don't know what's happening with those Asics shoes as well. There seems to be a massive delay. I know some people bought them and they were told they weren't going to get them until July, so it's really weird. I don't know what's happening with them. Obviously some big sort of shipping issues, maybe some production problems, I'm not sure. Glendog says, intrigued by Puma 2 because of the recent videos. Yeah, you should check them out. The Liberate maybe, or the Velocity Nitro. Seven Steels, yeah, I agree with you there about sock and shoe combos. That can really make or break a shoe, actually. Certain things just seem to work really well. If you've got a sock that's maybe a little bit more coarse, perhaps underneath, sometimes it like grips the insole a little bit more, and it can make things work. Other shoes, other socks, you kind of slide around on top of the insole, and yeah, it doesn't present the best combination. Andrew Ross says, hi Ed, he's training for the marathon. It's a shoe I buy for the long easy runs as part of the rotation policy. Also the shoe I should use for race day. Or should that be a fast one? Well, this is it. I guess it very much depends. If you find a shoe that really works for you across a range of different paces, if it works for you on the longer run, then you've got to start asking yourself the question, you know, is this the one I should use for my marathon? I've seen people select a shoe for their marathon race and kind of keep it aside, not use it I think it's a bit of a recipe for disaster. It's a little bit like where I see people in bands, you know, they practice with a guitar that they've got at home, like maybe some really nice guitar, and then they use something else when they play live because they don't want to like damage the guitar or whatever. I don't agree with that whole sort of putting it in a glass case kind of scenario. I think you got to use those things, you know. Who knows what happens in life, you know. You don't want to sort of be the person that puts something aside and never gets to use it. So yeah, you got to use that stuff and enjoy it. I think, you know, these things are items, aren't they? Products, you got to enjoy them. They do wear out, no matter how much you baby them, you know, they're gonna wear down. So I think maybe look for something that works on your long, easy sort of run. You probably want something that's going to give you a little bit of a boost on your race day. So I hope that roundabout answer sort of helps out a little bit. Let's try and get through a few of these questions here. There's loads of stuff here. No, I've not got the Mass Speed Sky yet, Rob. I'm not sure what's happening with those. I think you got lucky getting in there quick, picking those up. Ash Lewis, it says, "Hey Ed, would you ever run a race in a non-carbon plated shoe?" I want to, but then I think, what if I get a better time? Ash, I've worn the Peg Turbo, all sorts of things really for races. It's more down to me on terrain, I guess. There's certain races where you need to look at, you know, the whole sort of race terrain. If there's a load of stuff on grass, or it's on some sort of gravel, or it's going to be muddy, obviously you've got to think again, you know, which shoe should you go for. So certainly around here, a lot of the races tend to be a little bit more multi-terrain, and that can have a bit of an effect on the shoe choice. So I think it's more down to doing a bit of research on the actual race terrain and the route. That's normally what I do to select a shoe. If it's all one road, and well, you've got numerous different options, I suppose, and then it goes down to whether it's going to be very wet. Perhaps there's going to be loads of standing water and stuff like that. Pierre Johnson says, "Hi Ed, got the Beacon 2 for easy days. I'm looking for something that is soft but can do a little of everything. What would you go for? Endorphin Speed, the Clifton 7 or the Rebel 2? I've got to say, the Clifton 7, I don't mean to bash it, but it just felt sort of very ordinary to me. It didn't really stand out at all. I didn't really feel it was that soft. A lot of people say it is. Maybe I just got a duff pair or something. It weren't very good, but they didn't really feel that inspiring to me. If you're looking for something that is soft, that can do a bit of everything, the Speed or the Rebel 2 are your best bets, really. Or check out the Liberate Nitro from Puma. That's a lovely soft shoe. All soft shoe. So Mr. Bojangles or something, isn't it? I think. Something like that. Sam Joseph says, "Greetings from Swansea." Thanks for tuning in. Scott is lounging at the pool in Jersey, USA. There is several pools outside here, and they're full of mud and debris and stuff like that now. It's not pleasant out there. Martin says, "How did I get on with the Zoom X Invincible?" Oh, the Invincible. There's lots of things I liked about that shoe, and there's lots of things I didn't like about it, Martin. I liked the idea of the midsole. I really liked the outsole. The outsole was a winner, but the upper was just, yeah. It's just like they'd thrown loads of ideas together and they didn't really mesh together, if that makes sense. They didn't really sort of work together. So yeah, a very expensive, easy shoe for me, and one of which I can't really recommend it because there's just too many things wrong with it, really. I could recommend the Pegasus 38 straight out, just like that. It's a great shoe. Kev Burmaster has a question for me. He says, "Which shoe brand has impressed you most this year?" It's got to be Puma. Mainly, Kev, because the shoes are available. You can actually get hold of them. Loads of the ASICS shoes at the moment, you can't buy them. You just can't get hold of them anywhere. And I'd love to check them out and test them out, but sadly, they're just not available. Richard says Beast Bud Sunday night special. It is. Beast is just sort of milling around. That's what Beast does. Mills around, sleeps, and eats, and just rotates those three kind of things. That is the way of things. Gary McClintock says, can you give call out to the sad passing of Terry Munro in Scotland? Bruni and Lenny really gonna miss him. There we go. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, Terry Munro in Scotland sadly passed. Craig Hopkins is in southeast Wales, looking for a replacement for the Peg 37 and the 1080 V10, not Nike React. Try out the Velocity Nitro Puma. A good daily option. I said that to someone the other day, and they were like, "What are you talking about daily? Are you talking about, you know, visiting the lavatory?" And I said, "No, like daily running, you know." They weren't into my they weren't on my level of conversation. It wasn't happening for them. Stevie76 says, "How's the drinks at Da Vinci?" Da Vinci, the Da Vinci Coffee House is reopened at the college, and it's a good thing. It is a good thing. We're enjoying that an immense amount. It's very kind of you for the super chat there. I do appreciate it, Stevie. Thank you very much. It's gonna help out a lot with the new procurement of shoes. What we got coming up? We got shoes. We got shoes waiting downstairs. They're waiting to be ground down and put through the ringer. We've got the Craft CTM Ultra. This isn't the carbon plated one. This is just their sort of standard model. It's an interesting shoe, I'll tell you that. It's a very interesting shoe, presented in immaculate fashion as special box and everything. And there's a couple of others incoming this week as well. I'm going to pick up the Nike Waffle 1 when that appears, because you know, I'm a sucker for those sort of retro running shoes. I can't help myself. You know, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, you got the suede. I wouldn't like to say whether the midsole material on the tailwind here is the same, but it's a beautiful thing. And the tongue, where you've just got the exposed foam there, it's don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore, do they? Woodrunner says The Fugitive, go for it. We watched it again the other week. It holds up well. Some good running. Yeah, there's some running in that one as well. From Harrison Ford. Good old Harrison Ford. What's the other one we watched? What's the one where he's on the plane? He's the president. Air Force One. Yeah, that's... They should have surely got the Air Force One shoes in there somewhere, paid to have someone wear them or something. Seems like a opportunity that you can't sort of turn down. The Guru says, Ed, do you like the upper of the Adidas SL20.2? No, I didn't like that upper at all. It felt a bit like, you know those cutting boards you can get, those sort of plastic topped cutting boards that you can use to like chop out stuff with your little scalpel or something, or a X-Acto knife as people seem to call them in America. It feels like that stuff, but just wrapped around your foot. It's a bad scene. I don't dig that vibe at all. Gary McClinton says he liked the first run in the Mach 4. Yeah, the Mach 4's winning me over, Gary. It's really winning me over. I wasn't sure about it to start with. The more and more I've used it, I'm enjoying it a little bit more now. Although I've put white laces in that aren't as stretchy, and that seemed to sort out the lockdown a lot. Aaron says, hey Ed, the Puma Liberate Nitro or the Zoom Streak 7 for a 5k road race? Zoom Streak 7. Absolutely Zoom Streak 7 there. Yeah, that's what I go for. And my reason being that I feel there's a little bit more rigidity in the Streak 7. The Liberate's very, very flexible, and I think I'd want a little bit more sort of bite as I toe off from the shoe, which I think you'll get from that Pebax plate that's in the Streak 7. There was some people there talking about Adidas, the brothers. Yeah, that was a big thing. Mark Weston says, do you think these super shoes are effective for older, heavy and slower runners? Now, I did read through a paper that someone produced the other day. Where was it from? I can't remember where the paper was published now. But it wasn't a paper that was produced by or funded by some shoe manufacturer. And what they said was, obviously, that efficiency improves. So obviously, if you've got a longer marathon time or half marathon time or something, obviously that efficiency improvement is actually going to benefit you more a little bit, and save you more time. So yes, I do think they can benefit. I think the super shoe bit, take away the carbon plate thing and look at the foams. It's the foams, I think, that are the big saver. They help in terms of fatigue, or lessening fatigue over the course of a race like that. And also, if you're going to implement their use within your training as well, that's going to mean that you're going to be less fatigued there. You'll be able to train that a little bit more, perhaps a little bit harder, and so on. So I think they do have a cumulative effect. That's my take on it. I think they have an effect for all runners. I'm not the guy that's going to say, oh no, you've got to run at such and such a speed for the plate to work and all this stuff. Almost had to beep something out there. But I don't think that that is the case. I do feel that they have a benefit to lots of people. Alejandro says, Adidas or Nike, your favourite shoes? I wouldn't say this particular brand, really. I wouldn't say there's a particular brand that I just like, that are my favourite. There's some Nike shoes that I just think are terrible, and some Adidas shoes that I think are terrible. I like some Hoka stuff and not others. Reebok are a bit of a mixed bag sometimes. There's some good, some not so good. Yeah, so I don't think there's a particular favourite. Gary says, I've got to listen to the Kevin McDermott Orchestra. Okay, I shall check that out. Woodrunner says, giant container ship stuck in the Suez. Yeah, maybe there was some stuff on there. I think it's production problems that they've got at the moment. That's why we're waiting. Decreel says, sup Ed, what's your favourite route to running Yeovil? From a fellow townsman, awesome, who's very new to running. Keep up the good work, awesome. I would suggest my favourite route, one that's a good tester. So for me is I run up towards the St Michael's area, because it's sort of uphill from there. So it forces you at the start to run in a very sort of controlled motion, a very controlled pace and effort level. So I mean, all of us go out too hard, don't we? We go out, start running, yeah, great, I'm running, this is great, and we go at too fast a pace. So that forces you to pull the pace back a bit and make sure you can get up to that sort of steep hill area. And then there's a good area around there that's quite nice and flat. And then also I utilise some of the trading estates because they're nice and quiet at certain times. Other than that, the Golden Stone sort of area down towards the south of the town is really good. It's nice and flat, and there's some beautiful scenery that you can see as well. Squirrels running around, and it's a nice place. Thanks for tuning in, Dick Reel. I really appreciate it. Mark T says Nirvana or Smashing Pumpkins. I'd say Nirvana. I was never a massive Smashing Pumpkins fan, really. So Nirvana, a bit more sort of immediate. Saragon says, what's my favourite running documentary film? Yeah, that Western States one's good. I remember watching that a couple of times. There's a good film all about the New York Marathon. I really enjoyed that one as well. Watched that a couple of times. That's a good film. Yeah, Stout Socks, I'm enjoying those. Steve, thanks for the super chat there. For some reason it didn't pop up at the top. Steve on the money with the super chat, and with an important message, guys, as well. He says, hit that like button. It really does help us out. I haven't got my sound effects with me today. Beast normally triggers those off using a pause. Joe Hibbett's here from Kentucky. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, Arky's got a good one there. Arky 2019. It says non-run related favourite retro Jordan shoe. Oh, right, okay. I'm a sucker. I'll tell you the story. I'm a sucker for the Jordan 4 and the Jordan 5 period shoes. Now, the reason being, I saved up a huge amount of money when I was a young chap, when I was like, what would I have been, like 9 or 10, because I had this brochure with all the Jordan shoes, all the Nike stuff in there, and I really wanted to get myself a pair. So I saved up. I think at the time, in my size, they were about £60, which, you know, £60 was just some insane amount of money when I was that old. And I went to the store to grab my Jordan 5s, and they didn't have them in my size. And I was absolutely, I was inconsolable. I was just, I was crying. I was really upset. And I remember I got some other one. I can't remember what I got in the end. Something else, and they weren't as good. And I always was a bit upset about it. So when I did get the chance to get some OG Jordan 5s, I grabbed some. And I got some Jordan 4s as well in the fire red colourway. I shouldn't have done that really. And I've got, yeah, there's a lot of casual shoes. I'm really enjoying the Jordan 35, so the current release. They're really nice, really comfortable. More of a sort of performance basketball shoe. Hopefully I can play a little bit. I want to play some basketball again. In the next few weeks, things will open up a little bit. Maybe I can grab a buddy or something and play basketball with them for a bit. That'll be great, you know, to do that. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, poor old young EDDBUD. He never managed to get his shoes. It took him 30 years to get his pair of Jordan 5s. Cheese Air says, do you think that Vaporflies need a bit of a break-in before the first race? Yes, I would always recommend wearing a shoe a little bit before, just to be on the safe side. You never know, maybe the production tolerances may have been a bit weird or wrong, or there might be something weird about the upper. Always be on the safe side. Certainly if it's a race, you don't want to foul it up on the race. So King 5157 says, review the Metaspeed Sky. When I can get hold of a pair, I will do it. Yeah, Guy Collier, there you go. I knew a Mambo Jangles and he danced for you with the worn out shoes. Brilliant. Yeah, that's the one. I've got a really good version of Edwyn Collins singing that song. It's got a real subtlety to it, like a real sincerity, like he is in fact telling you the story himself. I really like that. Edwyn, what a legend. Sam Joseph says, have I tried any Runderwear items? I have. I have some Runderwear underwear. I like saying that. That's really quite an addictive thing to say. Runderwear underwear. Yeah, and they work exceptionally well, I have to say. I want to keep this live stream, you know, reasonable. They're containing. They do the right things. I tend to find they're just very comfortable. If you've got some shorts with no linings, then they're absolutely perfect. So yeah, I'm a big fan of those. I've got quite a lot of running gear and stuff that I need to go through, so maybe I'll try and piece together a video that makes some type of sense about some of that running gear in the next, I don't know, I've got about 20 scripts ready to go, so yeah, soon. I don't know when. Little Runner Boy, there's some brilliant questions today, guys. You're doing a good job here. There's some fantastic questions. If you could have your dream running shoe lineup, what shoes would you rotate and what would you use them for? God, blimey. Dream running shoe lineup. if I had to just pick, okay, so I really wish there was a Gyakuso Next Percent 2, but in the 4% Flyknit colours, so that sort of burgundy, the gold, the yellow and the white, that sort of almost purple. Yeah, that would be beautiful. If there was one of those, that would be nice. But I would switch out the outsole to a waffle design, so that would be my race shoe. In terms of, I would suggest like an easy day shoe. I have to say the Pegasus 38 has won me over totally. So I'd use that for sort of easy daily sort of stuff, you know. Long run, I'm really enjoying the Puma Nitro material for the long run. So maybe if I can get hold of like a non-plated Nitro shoe that's maybe got more cushion. You know, I'm going into the realms of just mad, like just Frankenstein stuff now, but yeah, I think that would solve quite a lot of the problems for a tempo shoe. Maybe the Soccery Speed, but just in a more sort of, well, less 80s colourway, just something that's a bit more subtle perhaps. Yeah, there we go. I've gone to a bit of a strange kind of out there Frankenstein thing. Maybe I could, that's another video idea. That's a whole nother idea. Gary McClinton says, Ed, is it fair to say your recommendations alongside Seth as two vastly different configurations have to be taken in context? I'm not sure. Not sure what you mean there. I'm not sure. Oren says, do you think your best shoe of 2021 has been released? I hope it hasn't. I hope there's something else that crops up. I'm still holding out a little bit for that Freedom 4 from Soccery. I want to test that out. Steve Arenberg has a question there which was caressing my eyes. Any reports, rumours of a Hyperion Tempo 2? Not heard anything yet, Steve. I hope they do another one, but I mean, they pretty much nailed it the first time round, so I'm not sure you could really change it too much. 5BTN says, recently a mentor of mine passed away and your recommendation of Ben Folds' music helped a lot. Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Yeah, Ben Folds got some really lovely sentimental type tunes. I'm glad that music helped out. Music is a bit of a healer sometimes. Richard Johnson says, do I lube up parts of my body before runs? No, just tend to do a bit of dynamic stretching, just sort of limbering up really, making sure I'm hydrated. That's a key one. And I tend to run a little bit better if I've got a bit of fuel on board. So I tend to make sure I've had something to eat a couple of hours before. Any less time than that, and yeah, it can become problematic. That's all I'll say. The kitty is here. I did try and pick the kitty up, Javier, but it's not playing ball right now. It doesn't want to be. Beast is a big cat, and you don't really want to upset Beast. It can lead to some injuries. It can lead to some anxiety, and yeah, it rules the roost in the house. Put it this way: the dog is even scared of Beast. And when a friend of mine used to come in to look after Beast, they used to wear gardening gauntlets to protect themselves. Okay, so Immortal Rob has another question there. Oh, Mado's here as well. Amado, soul brother, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Immortal Rob says, hi, me again. He's doing a 50k event in November. Blimey. Oh, the Lima Loop. Yeah, I've heard of this, Rob. 10... oh... yeah, even just thinking about it makes me tired. Trail shoes which can do tarmac and wet grass. Innovate G270 would be my best bet. Or if you can stump up a bit more, I think it's the 300 is the other one which has got even more cushion. So either one of those two, I would recommend. Richard Johnson says, when you're overtaken on a training run, do you react at the moment or think about it later? I did read a question similar to this. I think it was in Runner's World or something recently, and it said, you know, what would you do? Would you just sort of hang back, or would you, you know, speed up and overtake or something? Yeah, I think I would. I think I'd probably just carry on doing what I was doing, or I'd put some AC/DC on and just blast it. What song was it earlier on? I must have looked like a lunatic. I think it was High Voltage. I think when that came on, I absolutely hammered it full power with this big smile on my face. I remember this lady who was walking her dog was just laughing at me. But music has that effect on you. I think when you're running, you've got all the endorphins flowing around as well. And, you know, if there's a musical track that has a particular sort of impact on you, I think it can like amplify that and sort of magnify it. Tim Ward, no Speed 2 for me yet. I think that colourway they've sent out is a bit of a prototype sort of thing. So maybe someday Soccery will be like that weird English man. Yeah, let's send him some shoes. He'll write a really weird review on them, and people might enjoy it. Who knows? That would be nice. You know, Soccery, if you're listening. Hi, I really like your shoes. Freedom 4. You know, I want to test that one out. Send them over. I'll be more than happy to make them look like this. I mean, look at it. It's taken on this brown hue. It's not going anywhere. Oh. But you got to use these things, haven't you? Even the orange is starting to peel away there. Oh, yeah. I had fun. No one can say that I didn't have fun in. Let's try and answer a few of the questions. We've got about 7 minutes. I know that Kafuzi will be starting up, so let's try and work through as many as we got here. Mado says, one of the greatest shoe nerd feelings is copping a pair of shoes you always wanted but could not afford or otherwise acquire. Yeah, that really, maybe that's what made me the way I am, Mado. Like back when I was 10 and I couldn't get those Jordan 5s, and it's been in there in my mind all that time. I finally got those, so it's cool. I mean, I've got a pair here of the University Blue Jordan 1s as well, but if I wore those outside, right, just for 5 seconds right now, they would be trashed. They'd just be totally trashed. So yeah, they're going to have to wait until there's some dry weather. It's probably the wettest May I can remember for a long time here in the UK. Stefan F has an interesting question here. Now, Stefan, you may know that I am a big fan of the RC Elite outsole. That was like one of the most beautiful things that there was. It was just so good. It works on everything. I even ran on some grass in that shoe and it felt good. I don't know why they've changed the outsole of the RC Elite 2. I would like to know what the thinking is behind that, because as far as I'm concerned, that was one of the best bits of that shoe. The upper was a little on the tight side, a little on the constraining side, but the outsole was just absolute fire. So if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. If anyone's watching this in the future, let me know. Andrew Pozza says, what shoe is going to get your mile sub 6? If I was to go all out, I think I could get close to that. Perhaps in the Run Fast Pro, that Reebok shoe. And that's all about lightness there. I think that would get me close. Gary, I kind of agree with you in some ways about the plate business, but I think pace is you know, it's relative to the runner, isn't it? Some people running at a, you know, a slower pace, but you know, they could still be, you know, engaging in that plate partly. But then again, the plate's like a tiny little bit of the whole benefit of the actual plate itself. The super shoe kind of ethos, I suppose, is that it's about that foam, and I think that the foam has a bigger effect. Let's try and do a couple more questions before we switch off. What else we got here? MOE says other guys look at older guys' cars and think, man, that's what I want to get when I'm older. I look at you guys, you and Seth, all the running shoes. Yeah, I think I've never been a massive sort of car guy. I mean, if I had a load of cash, you know, I'd probably buy a really nice car, but running shoes to me they're like pieces of artwork, you know, they're like a painting. It's like a gallery, you know. And maybe I'm like Tony Hart, I don't know. But yeah, I've always loved shoes, always. Guru2025 says, how did I cope with the Pfizer jab? I had the AstraZeneca one, so the Oxford one. Yeah, it kind of made me go a bit weird for like, I think it was about 12-15 hours, something like that. I was sort of doing some shivering and some kind of, I felt hot and cold, and I was sort of, didn't have my appetite, and that's a weird thing for me, you know, to have no appetite. I'm eating like a man possessed. But yeah, I think sorry, there's another one I got to do in a sec, which is funny. I think it's really important to remember with that having the vaccines, obviously, if you get some side effects, then that's a little bit of perhaps what you would have experienced if you maybe got the actual thing. I wouldn't ever want to get it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call an end to this one now. I think we're gonna do some watching of Call the Midwife. It's one of my wife's favourite shows, and I've got to say, I actually really like it as well. So I think we're going to go and watch that one. I want to say thank you to all of you who've tuned in on the live stream today, everybody in the chat. If you're there, you haven't hit the like button already, please do, because it really helps us out. Thanks to those who have given the super chats as well. That cash really does help out to keep the channel rolling. Remember, you can also help the channel out with some merchandise as well. You should be able to find some links to that dotted around somewhere. They're in the descriptions on the videos, but also on the main channel. If you head there, you'll be able to check it out. Yeah, buy yourself a mug or a hoodie or something. It really does help the channel out a great deal. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you.